Hey webheads, Mark here, and with this guide I'm going to quickly show you where all the Prowler stashes are located. This guide assumes that you have already started the Prowler missions by completing the main mission not on my watch. Let's get started. We are working on the Prowler stash in Midtown, and this one could be kind of tricky. Let me go ahead and pull up the map so we can make sure we're all on the same page. If you got stumped on this one, don't feel bad. I got stumped too. It's got some quirks to it. But let me go ahead and show you where we're headed. So the Braxton building here, we're going to head to the west side, which is the back side from where I'm positioned. And there's an American flag there. That'll sort of help pinpoint the right location. But when you head there, if you're on top of the building, if you squeeze L2, you'll bring up the scanner here. And that'll lead you sort of in the right direction at least. But once you work your way back to this lower ledge, drop down. There's the American flag I was talking about. What you're going to want to do is squeeze L2 and look for the Braxton logo here. And then you'll see the little green particles. And so with this minigame, what I suggest is stabilize one side first and then work on the other side. And then so once you do that, click in R3 and it'll highlight the piece that we need to move, but we have to move it in a particular direction. So what I mean by that is you can't just pull it from down here. So the best thing to do is get on top of the American flag. So if you jump onto the American flag using L2, R2 to zip to it, once you get these prompts, that means you are correctly positioned. So we're going to squeeze L1, R1, pull it open, and then we're going to squeeze L2, R2 to zip right into the vent. But we're not done. There's a little more that we need to do. So what we're going to do is get around these lasers. So when you get around them, you need to use R1, just tap it, and that'll stop the vent or the fan from spinning. And then we kind of have to work our way around these lasers. I have a little bit of a confession to make. I kind of enjoy these laser challenges, and I don't know why. Do you guys too? I can't tell if it's like stretching back to like early Mario days where we're trying to like almost platform through them. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but I do enjoy them. Anyway, work your way through these lasers and be careful. Take some time and make sure you got the right hole because the lasers do some damage. But once you get to the end, you'll see the little face scanner here. So what you're going to do is hit triangle, get the facial scan, get the part, and then head over to the vent and then hit the triangle button and you're done. Hey Spideys, Mark here, and we are working on the Prowler stash in downtown Queens, and this one can be kind of tricky. Let me go ahead and pull up the map so we can make sure we're all on the same page here. By the way, what do you guys think of the game? Are you enjoying it so far? Is it living up to your expectations? I think it's really great, but I'm curious what you guys think of it so far. So don't forget to leave me a comment. Now, we're going to head to the left side of the building here. Just look for the big billboard. Head towards the big billboard. If you get stuck, squeeze L2 and use the sensor to sort of locate the right direction to head. Once you see and get down by this ledge where that big billboard is, we're going to turn around, squeeze L2, and you should see the green sort of mist or particles pop up. Now, you want to stabilize one side first and then work on the other one. It could be a little tricky, but once you get it, now you can sort of see where we need to slide a certain piece to. If you click in R3, it'll highlight the piece that we need to move, and then the particles are showing where we need it to be. So we need to move it up. So if you look up, you can zip up to the top of this billboard, but really want to be on this antenna. So use L2, R2 again. And then once you're in the correct position, you will see the prompt for L1 and R1. So let's go ahead and squeeze those two and then squeeze L2, R2 again to zip into the vent. Now this could also be a little bit tricky. So we're going to turn right here. The other path is clearly blocked, but we're going to navigate past these lasers and we're going to use R1 to freeze the fan. Well, not freeze it, but you know, shoot our webbing at it. And then we're going to go around these lasers and there's a switch right back here. It's easy to miss. So go ahead and use L1 and R1 to flip that switch. And so what that's going to do is we're not going to go down there. We're going to head back the direction we came. And those lasers that were blocking our path, those are now off. So let's go ahead and work our way back. And I'm curious how you guys feel about navigating and getting past these lasers. I don't know why, but I think it's kind of fun. I could just be weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I'm curious what you guys think of this stuff. So navigating these can be tricky, but really just learn the rhythm of the lasers, work your way through, and at the end there's another fan. Hit R1, and then the safe is right back here. We're working on the Prowler stash in Little Odessa, and this one's a lot of fun. So let me go ahead and pull up the map so we can make sure we're all on the same page here. Now, if you got stuck on a certain part, don't feel bad. I actually also got stuck on a part here on one of the steps, probably for too long. So I'm not even going to admit how long that was. So once we get down here, let's run around the shipping containers. And if you squeeze L2, it'll sort of give you a hint of where you want to go. So look for the red or the green particles here. And what you want to do is you want to stabilize on one side. And once you lock it in, stabilize on the other side. It just makes it a little easier. Now you can see that it's telling us it wants us to open the doors, both doors. So in order to do that, we have to position ourselves in the correct spot. So let's head over here to the interocean shipping containers, and let's squeeze L2 and R2 to zip up here. We're going to turn around. There's a wheel here. So go ahead and hit L1, R1, and we're going to web it up. So tap R1 as quickly as you can, and that will keep it in place. Now, just a quick hint. So when you go in here and you get access to the safe, as soon as you get out of here, you're going to get attacked. So just a heads up there. We are working on the Prowler stash in Astoria. And let me go ahead and pull up the map. I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Don't want to leave anybody behind. This Prowler stash in particular is probably my most favorite of all of them, at least the puzzle aspect of it. The things you have to do in order to open up the door and get to the safe, I think is really interesting. I actually wish more of them were like this. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Let's head over to the area, and you're going to head to this middle part right here. And it looks like there's like this metal generator or something right here. Squeeze L2, and then what we want to do is you want to stabilize one side first, then work on the other side. It just makes it a little easier. Now you can see we need to pull this door open, and that purple area shows us where we need to be. So once you get in the right position, L2, R2, we can swing it open, and those electrical panels, well, there's one right here, but there's 3 more that we need to sort of shoot with our chain lightning. So hit L1 and square. If you don't have it equipped yet, go into your menu and equip chain lightning. The second electric panel is actually right above this one. So let's go ahead and squeeze L2 and R2 and zip up. And then once again, just kind of aim in the general direction and hit L1 and square, and you'll shoot that panel. Now you have 1 minute to get all these done. So if you complete this and the door's not open, that just means that you didn't do it in under a minute. Now the third electrical panel is above this one. Walk around this corner once you get to the top, and again L1 square, and then we're going to go up one more level. So look up above us, L2 R2, right up to this ledge, and at the very top, right around here in the middle, you'll see the 4th and final electrical panel. Now again, we're going to do L1 square, and then once you get that done, you quickly want to head down again, if you get down there and the door is not open, then that means you took too long. So if I come down here, I actually took too long my first time. The door is open the second time I did it. We are working on the Prowler stash in Greenwich, and this one could be really tricky. Let me pull up the map so we can make sure we're all on the same page here. This one's tricky because I feel like it's not quite detailed enough, and it's easy to sort of get confused on where you need to go. Let me show you what I mean. So when we get to the top of the building, head into the middle area here in between those these little buildings here. And once you get into the middle, we are going to spin around, and like it says at the bottom there, we're going to hold L2, and you can see that it brings up this little mini game. Now you want to stabilize one side and then stabilize the other one. It just makes it easier. You can do both if you want, but if you're having a tough time with it, just try to use one side first. Now climb up here to the top. You can see the prompt will pop right here. So we're going to squeeze L1, R1. That will open up the door. Now you can see there's this sort of electrical grid And it looks like you need to go a bunch of places. You really only need to go 2 places, unless I hit a bug. I'm going to show you where the 3rd generator might be. But anyway, you want to walk up, hit L1, and square. You want to use chain lightning on these. You have to use chain lightning. Now the second one is right up here. And again, walk up to it, L1 square with chain lightning. If you don't have chain lightning equipped, go into your menu and equip it. Now, there's a 3rd generator over here. I didn't have to hit it, but I'm going to point it out just in case. I don't think you need to hit that one. I think it's just like a decoy, but just in case. Anyway, once you do that, the door should open. Don't forget to like and subscribe, folks. It does help me out quite a bit. Thanks for checking out my video. And we are working on the Prowler Stash in Hell's Kitchen. And this one's really tricky. Let me go ahead and pull up the map and make sure we're all on the same page first. As you can see, it's west all the way over here. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to that corner of the roof. That is our starting point. Now, this one had me stumped for a little while, so if you were stuck here too, don't feel bad. Now, what you want to do is squeeze L2 so we can get the Prowler, we could scan for the Prowler code. And it's going to be at the top right over by this pipe. And what you want to do is you want to stabilize one side first, then move on to the other one. It's a little easier to do it that way. Or you can do both at the same time, whichever works for you. So if you look up here on the roof, you can see it wants us to move the pipe in that direction. So if you head over here to the billboard, once you get that prompt for L1, R1, that means you're positioned correctly. So let's go ahead and hit L1, R1. That's going to open up this door down below. Now we're only halfway through. There's still some more stuff we need to do. So head over to this generator and we're going to hit L1 square. We need chain lightning. If you don't have chain lightning equipped, go ahead and go back into the menu and equip it. Then when you have equip it, come back and do this. Now the next generator is down here. We're going to follow this pipe. You can see the generator. Again, we're going to hit L1 square to use chain lightning. That's going to kickstart it, but there's a short in the line. So we've got to head over to where you see the electricity crackling there. We're going to press R1. It's going to shoot a web and it's going to fix the short magically. Now, if you look down and keep an eye on that line, when it's flashing like that, that means the line is receiving power and you can move on to the next stop. Now, I feel like this part, this short is an easy one to miss. So I'm going to point it out here. Halfway up, just hit R1 from down on the ground and it should fix it. The next one, hop up top to the roof and we're going to fix this one as well. Just tap R1. And if he's not hitting it, then you might have to get a little closer. But there's only a couple of them up here on the roof, and then once you get to the end, the door should open. We are working on the Prowler's Stash in Williamsburg, and this one could be really tricky. Let me go ahead and pull up the map so we can make sure we're all on the same page here. And really, this one stumped me probably longer than it really should have. So if you got stuck too, don't feel bad. So we're going to head towards the middle section here in the Prowler section. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit L2 or squeeze L2, and then that is going to show us where we need to head in order to analyze and sort of decode this. Now, remember, what I suggest is centering it on the left or the right first, and then doing the other one. It's just a little easier if you do it that way. Now, you can see we need to swing the door over to the side here. The best place to position is kind of by this light pole here on the ground. We're going to squeeze L1, R1 to open up the gate. And then once we swing open the gate, this is the part where I got stuck. And you may have too. So you hit L1, R1 to swing the wheel, but you need to tap R1 to web up the wheel. If you don't do that, it's just going to spin and close. And we got to do that over here with this wheel as well. L1, R1, pull it, and then tap R1 to web it. And that should open up the safe. We are working on the Prowler Stash in downtown Brooklyn, and this one can be sort of tricky. Let me go ahead and pull up the map real quick, though, to make sure we're all on the same page. And if you got stuck here, don't feel bad. I got stuck here, too. So what we're going to do is we're going to land, or try to land, right there in between the building and that little tiny room there. I know it can be a little tricky. And so try to drop down right about here, and if you turn around that pipe up there, go ahead and squeeze L2, and that's where we'll get our prompt here. We're going to sort of tune in and sort of decode. Now you want to stabilize one on the left side or the right side. if you're having some trouble. I find it easier to focus on one than go to the other. Now, once you do that, we're going to zip up to the top here. If you look back down, you should get a prompt for L1, R1. So that's how you know you're in the right spot. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, once we've adjusted the pipe, it's going to open up this door. So we're not done yet. We're going to head down here, flip around, and let's go ahead and squeeze L2 again. And we're going to decode one more time. And then once you get this done, you can see it's telling us we need to pull the door up. So go ahead and look behind you, zip up on top of this billboard, turn around, and you should get the prompt. Don't forget to like and subscribe, folks. That does help me out quite a bit. Thanks for checking out my video.
I.Eat.Games, yeah.